Plastic Model Builders. Hello, this is Ari Stone with Plastic Model Builder, and this is the Italeri 1/48 scale V-22 Osprey. In this video, we are going to be painting the flight deck, assembling the flight deck, painting the interior of this model, and painting the seats and the decks and all that good stuff. So keep watching so you can see all the model making madness as we make this model look pretty. So let's get to it. What we have here going on, this is the top of the console of the flight deck with all the instrument panels. Getting that painted out of the way, everything inside goes a black color. You could do gloss, flat, whatever you want, whether it doesn't matter. Just make it look good. This right here is all the instruments that you have with your screens, radars, whatever you want to call it that they got inside. Make sure you paint part of the inside of this. You're not really going to be able to see this inside of the aircraft, but in case you can, just paint it anyway so it looks good. Make sure you leave a spot to put all the parts in once they're assembled. Here are the chairs. Basically everything in this I painted black. That's what the instruction called for, so that's how I did it. Got your seat here, you got your little seat belts and things like that. Didn't go overboard with the interior of this, just made it look decent. Painting everything right here, as you can see. That's the side of the chair. You have two chairs. So make sure you do both of the chairs, front and back, sides, top, bottom. Here you see the back of it. And we will install all these things into this wonderful aircraft. It's really good. Kit does have some fit issues, but not bad. You got a little arm here that you have to install. Put that on. I did this on the second one before I did it on the first one. So make sure you clean off your part properly. That way, you get good adhesion with your glue instead of just applying it to paint. So that's what that looks like, just like that. Paint that black, of course. And then you have your chairs, which they're going to go in olive drab gray color with everything else. So this is part of the more instrument cluster that would be in between the pilots right here. And you see they got their foot pedals right there. You paint this. I painted everything by hand because it's going on the interior. You're going to have to look through glass to see it, so it's not like you have to make things look perfect. Now, I know a lot of people like perfection, but with me, I go with how it appears to the eye when you can see it with what you're looking through. If it's going to look kind of distorted, it doesn't really matter how great it looks when you paint it. You're not really going to be able to see that detail. These are all the chairs inside. I took the liberty of painting those a gray color with olive drab seats, whether that's how it goes or not. I've seen pictures of some of them. They're all different. You got your walkways right there that will go up and down. We'll be putting those on in a later video. This right here is the interior of that, where those walkways and the back doors will go. Paint all that stuff. We highlight some of those colors using a medium gray and a neutral gray color. We really get the highlights of these. Might even be a dark gray. Just depends on what the instructions call for. So I use Tamiya paints for a lot of these. Some of them are decanted paints that I have, some which would be lacquer based. Some of them are acrylic based, and some are even enamel based. So just choose your pick on how you want to make these things look. This is the inside. You see we're going to have to put in some little windows. There's one that will go right there that you just saw. Very small, and there's a larger one, so one would be for a door and one is just an observation window. So you got a total of 4 of those, and then 2 that are in the front of the aircraft. So you also have to pay attention to what goes painted in the front, because if there's a window there, clearly you can see into it. So some things will have to be painted black, like that area that you see right there. I did paint some of these all gray, and this is, you can see the difference in the gray colors here. One's a neutral, this is probably a dark gray would be my imagine. Might be medium, I don't exactly remember. Just look on the instructions. As you know, I do these videos, I shoot from the hip, and that's how it is. If I'm a little wrong, it's okay. We've got the internet to help us out as well. Painting these walkways, mine just did it kind of scrappily here, a dark gray color. I thought maybe they might go a little different. Here I'm highlighting some of the panels and things like that they have, just to give it a little extra oomph to it. And that's kind of what it looks like in the real thing too. So just take your time. Got a bunch of these on each side. See how the plane comes together. Airplane, helicopter, vertical takeoff, big thing with a lot of props on them. This is what it looks like. So the interior, you can see the detail that this kit has. Not a lot, but it's got stuff. I'm sure there might be other kits that have different detail than this one, but this is a kit you can buy in the store. I enjoy doing it. So here are all the chairs. You see there's a lot of them. I just painted the bottoms and the tops olive drab. You see it right there. Of course, you have to go around the top part right there. And it doesn't necessarily mean all these went olive drab front and back. You know, it could have just been the top of the cushion, but you would be seeing the top cushion here based on how they would fold down. This is how I did it. Do yours your way. That's just one method right there. Put a big blotch on there and then just kind of work it in. Naturally, the smaller the blotch from the paint, you're going to have to dab your paintbrush more eventually. And there they are, doing a little bit of weathering. Got my weathering kit there. Just putting little touches of silver, gray, where paint would be worn, things like that. I like how it turned out. It's on the inside, so it's not like there's lights inside of this unless you put some in, I guess. You know, you're just kind of looking in to see what it looks like. So it adds a little bit of texture and detail to it. And that's why I did that. So that's the little dabs of silver I'm putting on for paint wear. That way, like I said, detail makes it look good. Going along the edge there where you have some feet wear, if it's possible, or they would store stuff. It just makes sense to kind of put things with wear and tear. Got your conduits right here. This is going to be part of the front of the aircraft. It attaches to the cockpit. And this is what I was talking about. Make sure you paint everything black that needs to be painted because you've got windows right there. So clearly if there's a window, you're going to be able to see into that. And that just goes all black all around that area, even on the lower side. I painted it just to be sure, just in case, in the event that you can see in there. You may as well do it while you're up inside of that aircraft, going all around that. Not going to see all that, but it didn't hurt to do it. Highlighting this right here, this is part of the rear of the aircraft. It's in one piece. You can break that into two pieces depending on how this aircraft is assembled, because it lifts up into the back. So you can kind of cut that down the middle, which is what I did, and you'll see that in a later video. So assemble all the interior components and we'll put those into the fuselage halves. We got the walkway and you got to put the chairs into those. Hold them together until they bind up. You know, that glue kind of sets. You know what the deal, you know how glue works. Got all these little tabs. Make sure you file everything good right here. Little tab was preventing this from seating properly, so you had to make sure everything is good. Then once you do that, everything can fit properly. Otherwise, it's just not quite right. Put that in there. It's got two sides of this. You see that's the smaller portion right there on each side. Then we will put in the large side, which is right here. And that fits in just like that. The chairs are a little bit uneven, I believe, on each side. We'll find out here in a second. Nope, same side. See how that works? I don't exactly remember, but that's okay. We will get these together. Put this in, as I was saying, with that portion right there that will fit inside of the cockpit. Goes right up front. Make sure that all fits together, just like that. And now we are going to paint our wheelbase. They go a black color. There are three of these, two in the rear, one in the front. You see these getting painted right here. Very simple. They will go inserted into the fuselage from the inside of how this aircraft goes. You see that's the second rear door, and then this right here, that is the front one. All black all around that. So now we are going to install the applicable windows because we don't do the top glass. You got the one here on the side that fits in. There's going to be one on the opposite side as well. Just get your glue. I use my thin cement right here. Have this little window. Make sure it fits in properly. Very small, as you can see. Just get your glue in there. Got another one in the back side right here. Then there will be two more in the opposite side of the fuselage. You see how you just get that, the glue just kind of sucks its way right into there. And then here is the other side window, and then these little ports right here, 2 of those as I mentioned earlier. So now we're going to start assembling the inside of this fuselage with all its good stuff. So these right here, hard to get in the way I did it and holding it, mainly because I'm trying to show you how I do it, but that's for the hinge for the door in the rear that chooses to open or leave closed depending on how you want to do your model. So here, this is the front wheel well. Make sure you know how to put that in. Goes just like that. Put in the rear wheel well as well. Get those out of the way. Right here, this is that piece I was talking about. This goes in the front just like this, and then you see the cockpit is placed in there at the same time. That is the rear wheel well that I was talking about right there. As I said, there are 2 of those. Place this in just like this, and once you get these glued in, you want to make sure that they fit down properly. So you're going to want to put the other half onto this aircraft. That way you make sure everything is lined up, and you're seeing what this looks like. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. And as always, until next time, see ya.